Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com, and today we are shooting with the Nikon D610, and we just created a little assignment here, and I noticed the wife had left out some of my power tools after assembling some IKEA furniture, and it gave me the idea to do a product shot with the power tools. We're using some Speedlights, two Speedlights here, one camera left, one camera right. The camera left Speedlight has a grid spot on it, so we've got that very focused hard lighting. Makes for a very interesting effect, dramatic lighting. And we've got a piece of white foam core camera right, just to provide some fill. And I actually ended up putting in a second Speedlight bounced into that foam core just to up the amount of fill, since I was going on for a solid black background by using the higher apertures. And this is just shot on my black coffee table. We'll show you a picture later on of the setup. And this shot is at f11, 1/180th of a second, ISO 200. That's using the Nikon D610, and that is the Nikon 24-85 f3.5-4.5 kit lens. And there's a drill, a cordless screwdriver, and the hammer there. And none of these are new, just some tools we had lying around. I just thought we'd put a quick assignment together. And here we've got a cordless drill just by itself, shot head on, and kind of has a bit of a one-dimensional effect. I probably should have put a little bit more angle towards it, or popped in a little bit more fill from the back. But still kind of a neat shot with the hard lighting coming in from the left with the grid spot on it, and some fill coming off the foam core on the right. Here we've got a close-up of the drill. And that is, again, at that one is at f9.5, 1/180th of a second. Then we've got a close-up of the handle, citing some of the specs. Same settings there, and the same type of lighting. We've got camera left with a grid spot on the Speedlight, and camera right, we've got a Speedlight putting some fill in off a piece of foam core. We've got a close-up on the battery section of the drill on the bottom, and again, same type of lighting, same type of settings on the camera there, f9.5, 1/180th of a second, ISO 200. We've got a shot of the hammer by itself, same settings, but we got some really nice play of the light reflection off of the metal part of the hammer there on the coffee table. So it makes for some really neat dramatic lighting there. We move to a close-up of the head of the hammer, and again, same lighting setup. All these shots I'm moving the lighting just slightly just till I get the look that I want from the lights, but still a light or a Speedlight camera left with a grid spot on it, and a Speedlight camera right bounced into some foam core for a little fill on from the right side. And that is f11, 1/180th of a second on the Nikon D610. Here's another shot with the hammer in a different position, and again, I really like the lighting effect off of the coffee table from the reflections. Same lighting setup. This is at f8, 1/180th of a second. Next up, we've got a close-up of the head of the hammer. You can see the marks on it from hitting nails, and again, the light play is pretty neat off of here. We're at f5.6 and 1/180th of a second. Next up, we've got the claw part of the hammer, and again, we are at f8 here, 1/180th of a second, and again, you can see the neat lighting reflection, the neat light play on the table, and just the dramatic, cool-looking effect you can get from the grid spots and the Speedlights with that hard light. And there's the handle on the hammer, similar lighting, f8, 1/180th of a second. Now we've got the cordless screwdriver, and here we're at f8, 1/180th of a second, and you can see the edge of the front of the coffee table, and I left that in there. I just thought it made for a neat compositional effect there. Slightly different angle on the cordless screwdriver, same settings on the camera, a little bit of movement of where I've placed my lights, and again, they're basically in the same positions, camera left, camera right, just moving them ever so slightly and angling them slightly depending on the look I want of where the light plays across the tools. Here we've got the cordless screwdriver when it's been moved to a bended position, and it's sitting on top of the hammer, just for a little bit of different shot. This is f8, 1/180th of a second. Here's the Cordless screwdriver again by itself again. This is f8, 1/180th of a second. And again, you can still see that play of light reflection from the coffee table. And we got a shot here, pulled back, wide angle, just to show you quick down and dirty shot of what the setup looks like for this. As you can see, it's just in my living room. I got the front drapes drawn so that really the only light that's affecting the shot is from the Speedlights. You can see the mess in the living room. Don't tell my wife, she'd flip out if she knew I was showing you pictures of a messy living room. And that is the Speedlight with the grid spot. Camera left there on a little light stand. That's a Manfrotto light stand. I love those little mini light stands. I'll put a link to those below for you too. You can see the grid spot on the Speedlight. And then over camera right, we've got another Speedlight, and you can see it's just bounced into a piece of foam core I've got sitting there. And that is the how I've lit this, and it's just sitting on my coffee table. And there's another shot with more ambient light. Got the drapes open. You can just see the general effect there, and what the space I'm just using to do that shot, and just the simplicity of the lighting. Here's a close-up of the Speedlight. You can see the wireless triggers there. We're using some cheapo wireless triggers, but they work great, actually. I'll put a link on Amazon for you there so you can see which triggers I'm using. And you can see a close-up there of the light with the grid spot on it as well. Here's another shot of the Speedlight camera right. You can see the wireless trigger, and you can see the foam core. It's just bouncing into the foam core to get that fill on the side. So there you go, folks. That's the Nikon D610, the kit lens, 24 to 85 millimeter, and just playing around with some Speedlights and a grid spot for some hard lighting effects. And you can see the kind of stuff you can do with grid spots on Speedlights, and just how simply a lighting setup can be with a couple of Speedlights in the middle of your living room. And we'll continue on with the Nikon D610, shooting with it, and we'll be back soon with some new articles, some new videos, and we'll keep you up to date with what's going on in the world of photography, videography, and technology right here at artoftheimage.com. Thanks a lot, folks.